And instead of a vault, you decided the next step up would be a tank?
Yeah, I mean, I think after we saw how much people love the vault, I mean, we sat in a room and I thought, okay, well, what if someone could drive the vault and the vault can fire? And you thought, oh, well, naturally, let's try a tank. So we went and got a tank, got some cars, and as soon as I saw the interaction between the tank and the car, I knew we had something. And then having the Spanish government allow us to own 19 kilometers of a highway, then it just became fun.
That scene, it hold your breath the entire time. The pacing is exquisite in there. It's just so much fun. The fighting, I mean, one of the highlights in the film is going to be the Letty Riley fight for audiences. It was during production. The crew couldn't stop talking about it. What did you want and need that fight to be, and how did Michelle and Gina do?
Well, I think at its core, the girl fight, it's been dubbed, it was crucial in the sense that it was the first step for Letty's arc of trust and self-discovery, you know? And so it was designed that way. And to fulfill that, you know, I needed Michelle to really basically do the whole fight herself. And, you know, of course, then I brought in Gina, who we know can do everything herself. And it took about 2-3 months of them rehearsing and rehearsing and rehearsing, and just redesigning that to make sure that it really fulfilled the where we needed to be for Letty as the character. But at the same time, I think a lot of the crew, you could feel the excitement, because I think everybody was kind of feeling that it could challenge and then potentially be the best female fight in cinema, you know. And I think, not to boast or anything like that, I think that's a challenge worth taking, you know. And so everybody from, you know, Gina and Michelle and the crew, like everyone stepped up to make that happen, because we knew the significance of that sequence and what it could be for the film, but also for cinema as a whole.
Yeah, pretty brutal, along with the other 13 fights.
Yes.
You didn't go little here.
No, no.
We talk about, and one of the great things for audiences to come and see what new cars you're bringing this time around. Will you talk about the flip car and how that sprouted from your imagination?
Yeah, you know, when I first came into Tokyo Drift, I remember the big challenge was putting a Nissan engine in a Mustang, and it took a lot of work to make that happen. And since then, you know, with Dennis McCarthy, you know, I would just keep throwing in more challenges. But what was really exciting about Fast and Furious 6 is that as I was developing the character of Shaw, I realized this is not a character that would modify a car. This is a character that would actually build a car. And so when I went to Dennis, I said, hey, I need you to design a car, but not only as from ground up, but it's going to need to flip other cars. You know, he took it upon himself, and I remember he came back with this design with an SUV, and it was a huge ramp. And I thought, okay, well, that's great, but this doesn't fit the character. We need it to be more sleek, and we're in Europe, let's use the F1 as the inspiration. And within hours, he came back with the flip car design that now you see in the film. And for me, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was perfect, because it was functional, it was efficient, it was everything I wanted for the character of Shaw, and it became the perfect metaphor for him to bring that to life.
Ever so cool and loud. Sitting here with Big Ben, can you talk a little bit about shooting in Europe and actually using the cities that you were in?
Yeah, you know, after Fast 5, I traveled around the world to find, you know, the next, you know, city to really kind of explore the Fast franchise. And as soon as I landed in London, you know, it just felt like the right place. London is huge, but it's very multi-ethnic, it's very diverse, and it just has a lot of history, you know. And just seeing that, I felt like, wow. Even just walking in Piccadilly Circus, you know, I remember thinking, wouldn't it be cool